What is going on, ladies and gents? Michael or Legacy Kill HD back here today with another top upcoming games video for you. Today we're going to be breaking down some of the best upcoming titles on the PS4 for 2017. And if you haven't already, make sure you check out some of the other videos within the series. There should be a link in the description or on the screen. We've discussed the top 25 upcoming games of 2017. That includes Xbox One, PC, and obviously the PS4. We've also discussed the open world genre, some of the best upcoming games featuring that. And don't forget to let me know in the comment section what game you're looking forward to the most and why. But nonetheless, guys, let's get started here at the number 10 spot with Wild. It's an open world survival adventure game developed by Wild Sheep Studio. It's set during the Neolithic period in a procedurally generated world with a seemingly infinite size. It said that we'll be able to use smaller animals who can spy on others, while larger animals can be used to support the player and their tribe in fights with other humans. Animals can be controlled by using Shamnik-like powers. Once possessing an animal, the gameplay moves to the point of view of the controlled creature and then proceeds using the skills and characteristics of that animal. We haven't seen Wild in a couple years now. I believe it was at Gamescom 2014 we got that pretty cool trailer, and it shows off some of the features like those Shamnik-like powers. It's going to be fun to adventure with these different types of animals. I'm actually interested in seeing all the different types of animals we'll actually be able to use and utilize to our advantage, and the different types of tribes we'll be interacting with, and seeing the hostility and the type of story that'll be coming out of this. I'm also interested in seeing what the multiplayer will be like and the different types of player versus player interactions. I think that'll be pretty cool. I have high hopes for Wild, but we haven't heard much since. I'm looking forward to seeing what they have in store in 2017. Hopefully we'll get a lot more announcements at E3, but so far Wild looks pretty awesome. And at the 9th spot we have Persona 5. It's a role-playing video game in development by Atlas. Persona 5 takes place in Tokyo and follows a silent protagonist after they're transferred to a fictional high school after being put on probation for assault on a stalker. During the course of a school year, he and other students awaken to their Persona powers, become mass vigilantes dubbed the Phantom Thieves of Hearts, and explore a supernatural realm called Palace to steal ill intent from the hearts of adults. As with previous titles in the series, the party does battle with supernatural enemies using manifestations of their psyche called personas. The game incorporates standard role-playing gameplay and exploration alongside social simulation elements. I must admit I'm not a huge JRPG gamer, but I really am looking forward to seeing what Persona 5 has to offer. I played some of the other Persona in pieces, but I really am looking forward to seeing what this game will be like, just because it does look very interesting. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun to play, and unfortunately it is coming out in Japan first, so we're going to have to wait a couple more months into 2017, but this game has to be on everybody's charts for PS4 because it just looks phenomenal. And at the number 8 spot we have Shenmue III. It's an open world action-adventure game developed by Nalo and YSNet. In 1987, following the events of Shenmue II, teenage martial artist Ryo Hazuki has journeyed from Japan to the mountains of China in search of his father's killer. There he met Ling Shenhua, a mysterious girl who previously appeared in his dreams. After learning the legend of her village, which foretells a united path between them, Ryo and Shenhua embark on a journey which will reveal their shared destiny. This is a game that a lot of us never expected to actually get. It's been years since we got Shenmue 2, and it's going to be fun to actually get back into this universe, something that's going to feel very nostalgic, and I'm very interested in actually seeing how this open world will appear, just being that it has been stated that they needed $10 million to make a true open world game, and I believe they only got $6.6 million, so hopefully it won't lack with the open world genre, but it definitely will be interesting just following the story one more time and getting hopefully a very good conclusion. And to the number 7 spot we have Horizon Zero Dawn. It's an action role-playing video game developed by Guerrilla Games. The plot revolves around Aloy, a hunter and archer who lives in a world overrun by robots. Having been enclosed her whole life, she sets out to discover the dangers that kept her sheltered for so long. Aloy makes use of ranged and melee weapons and stealth tactics to combat the mechanized creatures whose remains can also be looted for resources. The game features an open world environment for Aloy to explore, divided into tribes that hold side quests to accomplish while the main story guides her throughout the whole world. All the gameplay trailers that have been revealed, it looks phenomenal, it looks beautiful, and I really am interested in seeing what this story will be like. I've said this before, but the story just looks so complex. It's going to be very fun playing with dinosaurs that are mechanized. It's going to also be fun journeying through this story and figuring out what exactly happened to humanity and why is there only just tribes left, and seeing the inner conflicts between these tribes and seeing the different types of side quests is also going to be a lot of fun. I just feel like this game has a lot of potential. I really am happy seeing this from the Killzone developers, something that I just never expected, but it is such an elaborate idea, and I really am going to have a blast playing with Aloy. At the number 6 spot we have Final Fantasy VII Remake. It's an action role-playing video game developed mainly by Square Enix. It's retelling the original story following mercenary Cloud Strife as he and resistance group Avalanche battle against the corrupt Shinra Mega Corporation and the rogue former Shinra soldier Sephiroth. Gameplay is planned to be a fusion of real-time action. It's also being rebuilt from the ground up using the Unreal Engine 4 and will feature an entirely new combat system. It was revealed at E3 2015 with just a phenomenal, beautiful trailer. It was decided to release the remake in multiple parts so the team did not have to cut any of the original content. They also decided to add new content and adjusted the original character designs to balance between realism and style stylization. This is another remake that a lot of people did not expect to actually ever get, just because it's been years and years that a lot of people wanted to see this, but finally with these new generation consoles, we're actually going to be getting it. It's going to be interesting seeing that they're actually putting this into multi-part, so where there's going to be episodes. It's been compared to some like the Telltale Games series. I don't know how exactly you could compare that, but they've also decided to say that each episode's going to be like its own game, so that's going to be interesting seeing how that all works out. I'm looking forward to seeing this story one more time just because it was so much fun, and also seeing the new content that they're actually going to be adding. To the number 5 spot, we have Death Stranding. It's a video game being developed by Kojima Productions. The trailer features American actor Norman Reedus, who will serve as the basis for the main protagonist. According to Kojima, one of the key aspects of the trailer is the idea of a connection between life and death. Single player and multiplayer will be included, but multiplayer has been said to be a new system, so a different take on the multiplayer. Kojima has stated players of open world and linear action games, Death Stranding will compare naturally to them. It will feel familiar, but after an hour or two of playing, you will start to feel something different, something new that you haven't played. The story's about connections that you call strands. In psychology, how people are connected. This is the first game coming from Hideo Kojima after that whole Konami controversy. I mean, if you are not aware, Kojima is the mastermind of the Metal Gear Solid series. He's just a brilliant developer, and it's going to be so much fun seeing his different type of story take on this Death Stranding game. It's still a mystery to most of us, but it's pretty cool that he's teaming up with Norman Reedus, just being that those two guys were actually supposed to make a Silent Hill game years ago, but it got canceled. So either way, this game does have a very cool vision in his eyes, so I really am looking forward to seeing what it will be like and how different it will be from his Metal Gear Solid series. And as I've said before, Konami will fall while Kojima rises. To the number 4 spot, we have Days Gone. It's an open world action adventure survival horror video game in development by SIE Bend Studio. We will be playing from a third-person perspective and controlling Deacon St. John, a drifter and former bounty hunter who prefers to live a dangerous life on the road over living in wilderness encampments. The game takes place 2 years after a global pandemic occurred which killed almost all of humanity, but transformed millions of others into freakers, mindless zombie-like creatures that are quickly evolving. Although we've already gotten enough games within the zombie genre, I'm really looking forward to playing with our Daryl Dixon-like character. And crafting different types of weapons and items is going to be a lot of fun to experiment with, and also exploring this little world that they've created for us, and playing in different types of ways such as stealth and action's a nice addition. And I'm looking forward to seeing what type of story they'll have for us and how different it will be from some of these other zombie games out there. And at the 3 spot, we have Detroit Become Human. It's a neo-noir thriller video game being developed by Quantic Dreams. The plot revolves around several playable characters, all of whom are androids. Among them, Kara, who escapes the factory she was made in to explore her newfound sentience, and Connor, whose job is to hunt down deviant androids like Kara. The characters may survive or perish depending on the choices that are made, which serve to shape the story as customized by the player. There are multiple playable characters in the game who can die as the story continues without them. As a result, there is no game over message following a character's death. The story will branch out depending on which choices are made. The more information one collects within a allotted time, the greater the chance of success will be in deciding a course of action. It has been stated that this game will only be between 8 to 10 hours, although the developers have also stated that there's a lot of replayability involved with this, so I guess you could play one way the first time around, and the second time I guess you'll have a little bit more experience, you'll know exactly what's going to happen, and then you go down a whole completely different road. It's really going to be the coolest part about it. They say that the first choices will come in the first scene of the game, so I really wonder how many choices are actually going to be involved. But if there are 12 characters, I'm guessing that they'll probably only end with a couple, so it's going to lead to a lot of deaths. That's going to be pretty cool seeing all the different types of situations that we'll be introduced to. I mean, this is coming from the Heavy Rain developers, and they know how to deliver an amazing story, so I really am looking forward to seeing Detroit Become Human. To the number 2 spot, we have God of War. It's a third-person action-adventure video game in development by Santa Monica Studio. The game will be a soft reboot for the franchise. It will take the series to the world of Norse mythology. Kratos will return as the main character, and now he has a son. Kratos acts as a mentor and a protector to his son, and has to master the rage that has driven him for many years. This new installment will be single-player only. The game will feature elements similar to role-playing games, such as archery knowledge points as well as Spartan Rage timed ability during battle. This ability appears to be the new take on the rage ability of the previous installments. There will also be crafting resources for the players to find. This is one of the best delights of E3 2016. It looks absolutely phenomenal. I like that they're actually upgrading on the graphics, and I also like the story direction. It's going to be interesting seeing Kratos and his son and the direction that they go with that, and actually seeing what type of story will come with this, and also seeing the Norse gods. That's pretty cool. I like that they're actually rejuvenating this franchise by also going down that road, so we'll actually be introduced to new monsters and new gods. And this has been one of my favorite franchises for PlayStation, so it's going to be a lot of fun to dive once again with God of War, and I really am happy about this game and what it looks like it's going to be. To the number 1 spot, we have Spider-Man. It's an open-world action-adventure video game based on the Marvel comic book superhero Spider-Man. It is being developed by Insomniac Games. The game will tell an entirely new story about Spider-Man and is not tied to any any film or comic book. The game will cover both the Peter Parker and Spider-Man aspects of the character. It will feature a more experienced Spider-Man. The game will take place in open world New York City. Players will be able to use Spider-Man's well-known abilities such as web slinging and wall crawling, as well as a new gameplay element unseen in previous Spider-Man games. One of the abilities is actually traversing using parkour. Spider-Man 2 on PS2 is one of my favorite games of all time. I played it a lot when I was younger. It's going to be nostalgic playing this new Spider-Man. It's also going to be a lot of fun getting back into Peter Parker and playing a new take on the Spider-Man and also getting a new story. I mean, I'm kind of tired of seeing Uncle Ben die, so hopefully they go away from that. We get something a little different, but it also is going to be a lot of fun to play with these new villains and new characters. Hopefully we get some new innovation into it. And with an experienced Peter Parker, maybe he's in his later 20s and maybe early 30s, that'd be pretty nice. I mean, we always get this high school or really young Peter Parker that's like all innocent and he's kind of funny, lol, haha. But if we get more of a serious Peter Parker that's actually seen shit, that's going to be pretty awesome. I just want a different type of Peter Parker that we haven't exactly seen in movies or comic books. I think that'd be the best take that Insomniac Games can give to us. But either way, getting a new Spider-Man game is going to be amazing. I'm just really happy that we're actually getting a new Spider-Man game. It feels like it's been too long. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you dive into the comment section. Let me know what PS4 game you're looking forward to the most in 2017. And also make sure you smack that like button if you did enjoy the video or found it any bit informative. One more time, I want to say I love you asses. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe for a lot more upcoming gaming videos. And I'll see you guys later.